Hi, everyone, and good morning. Good morning, and welcome. Welcome to the session. We're glad to have you. Good morning. Feel free to let us know where you are joining from. Good morning and welcome. We are here again, and it's always exciting to have this session. Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining all across Nigeria and, of course, outside the country. We are happy you're here. And of course, it's a time that we are having again with John Obidi on building wealth in the Nigerian economy, the Nigerian digital economy. Once again, you're welcome. If you know any professional who should be here, any business person, feel free to nudge the person to join this session because it's really going to be engaging, it's going to be insightful, and it's a session that will look to help people advance in their careers, in their businesses, a session that would help young entrepreneurs to advance in their various endeavors. Once again, you're welcome. This is Wema Bank webinar, the Youth Entrepreneurship Meetup. We have the session from time to time, and it's always exciting to have you. Before we go right into the session with John Obidi, we have a very loud project with the federal government, the federal government alert partnership, the skill innovation program. It's ongoing. We have a cohort ongoing. So feel free to register so that you can join the next cohort. The way to register is simply go on your browser and type FGN Alert Skill Innovation, and then you would see the details pop up. You can register, and you would join the next cohort. Good morning once again, and John, it's exciting to have you once again on this platform. Thank you for joining. Please.
Thank you for having me.
Amazing. So before we go right in, John, welcome everyone. Thank you for joining. So we're streaming this both on Zoom, on Facebook, and also on YouTube. So wherever you are, feel free to send in your questions, your comments, and John will gladly respond to them. So very quickly, for anyone who doesn't know so much about John, I will quickly talk about John and what he does. John is an entrepreneur, he's a consultant, he's a speaker. John is an author and the founder of Head Start Africa. John Obidi is a new media consultant. He's an international speaker and a personal development trainer. John is a highly skilled, compelling, visionary, and phenomenal resourceful person, bringing practical intelligence and transferable solutions to both the workplace and marketplace as a whole, and doing so in the most innovative and unconventional ways. I've heard John over time, and I can say yes to this. Unlocking admiration and gratitude from clients and industry stakeholders everywhere. In 2018, John was voted among Evans Media's 100 most influential young Nigerians, coming in second in the final rankings. And in December 2018, he won the Future Awards Africa Prize for New Media. In 2020, he was voted among the 100 most influential young Africans. John is a leading consultant on online digital marketing in Africa, and he is a founder of Head Start Africa, a community of over 170,000 business and career professionals. As a thought leader in personal development, leadership, and online marketing, John's blog, podcasts, webinars, workshops, masterclasses, conferences, and speaking engagements are acclaimed to be practical, disruptive, paradigm shifting, forward looking, and highly progressive. John has served as a speaker in Brazil, in UAE, Ghana, Zambia, Rwanda, and Nigeria. And it is indeed a pleasure to have John join us here this morning. John, you're welcome.
Thank you for having me, Ogechi.
Yes, John. Would you want to give some sort of opening remark before we get right into it, the business for the day?
Oh, well, it's a pleasure to be here again on this Wema Bank training. It's I think my second time being on here, and it's always a thing of joy for me to give as much value as I can to the marketplace. The topic of conversation today is something that I have about 12 years of experience in. It's something that I feel super qualified to teach on, as it's how I made my money. It's how I still make my money. It's what I empower thousands of other people to do. And I'm sure that everyone here is about to have a great time.
Amazing. Thank you so much, John.
Thank you.
No, with the things I see with your sessions I've been in, with the things you do, I'm confident that our attendees will get a lot of value here today. So, guys, wherever you're joining from, please stay tuned and stick to this session. You're walking out of here with lots of strategies that would help you to advance. So, the very first question I have for you, John, is this. What key opportunities do you see for wealth building in the Nigerian economy, especially for the younger generation? What key opportunities do you see?
Okay, so in answering this question, there's a way I tackle it, and I would like you to just give me um 15 minutes to explain this thought. And hopefully maybe some other questions you have to ask me will be answered by this whole thought.
Okay.
Yeah, because I don't think that when it comes to wealth building, I don't think that anybody has explained it this way in the way Nigerians need to hear it. Most people watching me here, they have no business running off to say you want to do email marketing, or you're running off to say you want to do just. There needs to be a foundational understanding. We understand the foundational wealth building mindset of what it means to make money online or build wealth in digital economy. Anybody can take off and make it work. All right, so here's the thing. I believe that the average Nigerian today is ill-equipped. And when I say the average Nigerian, I mean the one that hasn't gone to like the top business schools and co, right? Most SMEs are ill-equipped to extract digital wealth in Nigeria. Not just digital wealth, extract any kind of wealth. And I'll explain this. Back in the day, if we read old books by the older authors, like the Cyprian and the Quincy's, the Wole Soyinkas, the older authors, or if you talk to your mothers and grandmothers, they will tell you about a time in Nigeria where Nigeria was a high trust society. And what that means is there was something called the night markets back then, whereby the people who were selling there, when it was time to close, they didn't have to take their goods and lock them back up because it was nighttime for security. They could leave them out there in the open, indicate with stones how much each item cost, and they will go home. When people were coming by the night markets, they would just see what they wanted, see how much it cost, take what they wanted, put the money there, and go away. No CCTV cameras, no surveillance, nothing. You, a market woman or a man selling there, would come to the market, see how much money you have made overnight, right? So that was when Nigeria was a high trust society. And many people in this generation have no memory or knowledge of that, but there was that time, right? Now, because of that history that we're coming from, there are certain skills that we have not needed to learn natively because it was a high trust society. So people who grew up in that kind of era didn't need to necessarily build persuasion skills when it comes to marketing. They didn't need to necessarily build skills in branding, in marketing, or sophisticated sales systems, because you didn't have to convince anybody. Someone just came, they wanted it, they bought, all right? However, we have evolved from the 1950s into the era that we are. We no longer live in a high trust society. We live in a very competitive landscape. And in a very competitive landscape, there are specific sets of skills that you must have in order to attract wealth. For example, in this era, your definition of certain words and terminologies has to change. For example, what does it mean to sell? When you ask a Nigerian what it means to sell, how we use it in English is when we are exchanging goods for money. So for example, where Angela go? Oh, she did market, she did sell. So when you visualize that she did sell, but that is not what selling is. Well, that's what we call selling. To sell means to convince somebody of an idea. Money is not always being exchanged. But sometimes at the end of that process, there's money being exchanged. So for example, when the American, for example, says, sell me this pen, or when the American says, I'm not sold on this idea, that's what selling means. So when I'm trying to convince you of something and you are not convinced, why do you say, I'm not sold, or I don't buy that? Why do you use selling and buying when we are transacting intellectually, but there's no money being exchanged? All right. So the actual meaning of selling is to convince somebody of an idea, to persuade somebody of an idea. When you understand that this is what selling means, you just, oh, I see. So I've been doing it wrong. Because most Nigerians do it that way. So for example, you are selling this phone, yeah? And you just believe that because you're selling the phone, somebody should come and buy it from you. I'm selling. No, that's not what selling is. Selling means convincing the marketplace of an idea. What is the idea? The idea that if you don't buy this phone from me, you are not going to get the best deal when it comes to phones. And so there's a whole process that goes into selling. So when it comes to the digital landscape, there are a set of skills everybody must have in order to convince the marketplace that you are a serious business person. And then we can now talk about the skills of this new economy. For example, you cannot be a serious business person that wants to make a lot of money in this market and you're not doing email marketing. You can't say you are a serious person and you want to make a lot. I don't mean biscuit money. I make a lot of jokes to these things. There's biscuit money that can eat and be comfortable with your family. But it's Nigeria be today. Nobody wants to make money to be comfortable. The average Nigerian has the Nigerian dream. And what's the Nigerian dream? To blow, right? But if you want to blow, right, you need to have a specific set of skills. Because make no mistake, as a lot of Nigerians are running away from Nigeria, the Japa syndrome, there's a lot of Europeans, Pakistanis, Indians, Lebanese that are coming in here. Why? We have a huge market and these people are coming here with the skills to capture the money from this market. Our people do not know how to collect money from one another. We don't know how to collect our money, but they have the knowledge to collect our money. So our people need to acquire these new set of skills. Time has moved. Nobody uses stores and such anymore. You must know how to go into where people live now, the internet, and capture that wealth. And they're captured in a few skills. Number one, ads. Number one, everybody must know how to make ads on some level. All right. And if you don't know how to run ads, it's free to learn. Meta, that is Facebook. Facebook has trainings where they teach people how to run ads. So there's something called Meta Blueprint, or if you Google it, you may see it as Facebook Blueprint. That's where Facebook teaches you how to run ads. If you can just sit down for a day or two and go through the trainings, you will know how to run ads for your business on Facebook. And then Google Ads. Google has their own equivalent of the Facebook Blueprint. I think it's called Google Skill Shop, where they teach you how to run ads across the Google suite of products. So that's whether it's by pay-per-click campaigns or even running ads on YouTube. All right, not many Nigerians run ads on YouTube. So if you're one of the few, you're going to look like, wow, this is amazing, okay? Then email marketing, everybody must know how to gather people's email addresses into their email database and then send them emails. There are some people watching me right now who they already have customers who send you their name, their email, their phone number, but you've never followed up with them via email marketing to say, hey, we have new products, we have this, we have that, and you're leaving so much more money on the table. And now let's talk about artificial intelligence. I don't like it that when it comes to new tech like AI, our people are generally the last to get on board. We tend to be skeptical. Just watch, and maybe if everybody else adopts it, then we now try it out. No, we should be the first to get on board. So what do I mean by AI? Let me not even get too advanced with AI. Everybody should at least have a basic account with ChatGPT, all right? And learn how to prompt ChatGPT to help you carry out certain tasks. For example, if you were doing this webinar 2 years ago, I would have said people need to go and learn copywriting. That is, learning to write in such a persuasive manner that people read what you write and are convinced to buy what you have, right? But today, there's ChatGPT that can help you write some of that copy. So all you need to now do is to learn how to prompt the AI to give you compelling copy. So your spellings may not be so good, your grammar may not be so good. AI will just package you. And by the time you are putting out your content, like, wow, this is interesting, all right? everybody needs that polish, because if you're not doing that polish, somebody else who is doing it is going to take your business. So these are a few skills of the new economy. There's so much more, but let me hand the floor back over to you. Maybe you have some more questions.
Awesome. Thank you so much, John. You've clearly, please confirm you can hear me. I want to be sure that my network is not playing pranks here.
I can hear you very well. Yes, I can.
Awesome. Thank you. In fact, you've hit the nail on the head. And those are really facts. Those are facts. That's the truth. That's what we experience. And I appreciate the fact that you're able to also speak, paying attention to what we have today, because there are some resources, like you mentioned, ChatGPT. So if we have the resource that can help you to get the job done, what's the need going to acquire the skill? So you might as well just use it, leverage it, and basically build your business. There is no need to recreate the wheel again. Thank you, John, for answering that question. So my next question for you, John, is this. What are some common misconceptions about building wealth in Nigeria? I know there are quite some misconceptions that we have, and how can these be debunked? How can these misconceptions be debunked for the benefit of the young entrepreneur and the young and professional that we have today?
Okay, so I know that there's a variety of people watching. So let me just try to answer that in a way that cuts across to everybody. First of all, there's a misconception that about ways to make money online, and some people might take advantage of you. The one sure way to make money online is that you must sell something. That's the one sure way. Now, there are people who are going to be selling you all kinds of courses. Oh, you can make money by putting videos on YouTube. You can make money. Oh, I've made this Forex robot now. If you buy this Forex robot, to be automatically trading for you. Or there's one thing with crypto. Look, the one thing for sure that you will make money from, a lot of money from, is by selling something. And the person who is selling you on that thing, that Forex thing or that crypto thing or whatever they have made up today now, the person who is selling you on that thing is actually obeying this law by selling you on that thing. It's not the thing. It's the fact that he is selling you. So understand me. They're going to come with all kinds. This is Christmas time now, and so they're going to come for your Christmas money again. Oh, there's one Forex robot, or there's one new thing, or maybe you can be uploading books on Amazon. You'll be making money in dollars. Listen, you will spend money on those courses and you will likely fail because there's nothing there. The main thing that you should learn now is how to sell online, and everybody can figure out something to sell. I think the closest thing to anything that would work in those areas is affiliate marketing, because even with affiliate marketing, you get to sell something. So whether you are selling your own thing or you are selling something that you have an affiliate arrangement with another person, you have to learn how to sell. And when it comes to online, you have to know what it takes to sell online. So that whole system, can you sell products, whether they are digital products or physical products, in an automated fashion such that you can make money in your sleep? You don't need a human customer service rep. All the automation sequences are set up so that somebody comes to your site, sees what they need to buy. The sales process there is robust enough that it sells them on the idea of getting that product. They are convinced, they click on buy. When they click buy, they put in their payment details or they do a bank transfer. Instantly, in about 1 or 2 minutes, whatever was sold to them automatically gets delivered to them. All you do is wake up in the morning and you're seeing the sales that you are making. That whole system is what everybody needs to focus on. And if you can just spend your December learning this, I promise you by next year, you are going to be a sales superstar. But do not run helter-skelter, with all the ads that you are seeing online. As somebody said they made money from this and they want to teach you how. 99% of them are lying to you. Everybody needs to learn how to sell, either something that you have or something that you're going to develop from today, or you have an arrangement, a partnership, an affiliate partnership with somebody, and you're either selling their product as an affiliate or as a distributor. Whatever it is, you have to sell something, and you have to have the skills required by 2024 to sell to the market of today and not the market of the 1950s.
Awesome. Thank you so much, John. And clearly, I think this is a good time to have such a session so that people can prepare themselves for 2024. It's really a good time. So please, if you have any questions, wherever you're joining from, please drop your questions in the Zoom channel, drop your questions on YouTube, whatever platform you're listening to us or watching us from, drop your questions and John would be glad to respond to your questions. John, you had earlier talked about personal branding and how crucial it is, for the young entrepreneur today. Would you also want to talk about strategies that a young entrepreneur, a young individual with limited or no experience can actually leverage to build a strong personal brand?
Well, yes, this is a lovely question, and it's the best time to build a personal brand. We all know that people trust people more than company logos, and so everything from your website. I mean, today, if you ask somebody, do you have a website? The answer is always, we are working on it. But the problem is that you don't have a personal brand if you're not easily Googleable. So this cuts across whether you are actually in a job or you have your own business. You should at least have a one-pager where people can just click to your website and have an executive summary about you and the value that you offer to the marketplace, right? So personal branding, very important. Number one thing everybody must have is a personal website. You don't have to be a designer. There are no-code tools that can help everybody get set up with that. You have Wix, you have Squarespace. There's a ton of them. You just need to have the will. All right. You can go to wix.com and sign up for a free account and use any of their templates, set up a website, and people start taking you seriously. Another thing is when it comes to personal branding, it's not just you having a website, but it is in you delivering value to the marketplace on a consistent basis. For example, as a brand, everyone who knows me as a brand knows that the value I bring to the marketplace is in these trainings. I know how to make complex systems so simple in the way that I teach and in the way that I consult. But I can't just assume that they are just going to know who I am. I have to just keep on showing up on social media and selling them. Remember what selling means? Selling them on the idea that John Obidi, whenever they think of training or sales, John Obidi is the man for the job. All right. So every time I show up and I'm doing my free webinars, my free trainings, money is not being exchanged, but I am selling them on the idea that, look, whenever you have complex issues regarding internet marketing, you come to me. You don't go to anybody else. All right. Right now on this call, we are not exchanging any money, but selling is happening because from this conversation, I am selling you and these participants that I am the man for the job. So you might be going, wow, this guy talks so amazing. You know what? I have something where I need somebody. Exactly. You're sold. All right. So that is what everybody must be able to do today. Building your personal brand, not just as a static brand, but as one that is always selling the market on your ability to provide solutions. What do you sell? What services do you offer? You should be putting out videos on social media, putting out videos, whether you are creating live streams, doing workshops, webinars, putting out educational posts, blog articles, sending out emails to your list, selling them on your ability to provide solutions to the marketplace. People think that it's only when it's time to exchange money you sell, and that's why you don't make money. Selling is what we do every single day. All right. So you need to show up as a personal brand, not just as just a personal brand, but as one that is always known every day for providing solutions to the marketplace, free or paid.
Awesome. Thank you so much, John. Clearly, sales skill is a skill that everyone needs. Whether you're a 9 to 5 person or you're a business person, it's a skill everyone needs. You need that skill to convince your husband. You need that skill to convince your wife. You need that skill to convince a friend, a business partner, your boss, your a member of your team, your neighbor. Is a skill that everyone clearly needs. And like John has rightly said, it's not just about exchange of money, but of course, it's ensuring that you're able to convince people for them to buy your idea. We have a number of questions here, John. And I would like to actually focus on some of them because my goal here this morning is to ensure that everyone walks out of here having the solution that they need for the problem they are currently facing. So very quickly, I would like to Just read out the question. How can I find a starving crowd to create a product for and sell? Where can I find a starving crowd? So this person is actually asking, how do I get my target market? I think so.
Well, there's no one size fits all approach to this. And this is not a question I like to answer in public, because there are over 100 people now. When you say, how do I find a starving crowd? And some people are also asking, what niche do you advise? No smart teacher is supposed to answer the question of what niche should we focus on. Because if you understand business, there is no niche that does not risk oversaturation. So there are books you can read, like a Blue Ocean Strategy. Blue Ocean Strategy, it's a framework where it says that, look, so the Blue Ocean Strategy means finding uncontested market space. So as a seller, every aspect of your marketing activities is in finding uncontested market space. There's nothing like there's enough room in the sky for two birds to fly. No, it's not. It's not a reality in business. At every point in time, you are trying to look for uncontested market space, and when you find it, you are trying to protect it as much as possible. That's how business is done. So if I come here and tell you a niche that is working, trust me, in 3 days, that niche will be oversaturated and will be useless to everybody. All I can say is that you need to open your eyes and look for what people need. In Nigeria today, Nigerians are generally ambitious people. I've never seen any Nigerian that does not want to blow. I haven't. They may exist, but I haven't met them, right? Nigerians are very ambitious people. Nigerians want any opportunity that can help them become better. Anything that can help people up-level themselves, become better. So whatever you can define better as, that's up to you. Whether it's to get a better job, or to get more out of their job, or to get promoted, or to make money in their business, or to make more money online, or to 10x their income, or to become better salespeople. Anything that helps Nigerians improve themselves, that is a space that will always need people that can provide solutions. So you want to find a starving crowd, look for Nigerians who are trying to improve themselves. How can you bridge that gap when it comes to improving? All right, people are paying people money for information on how to write IELTS. Why? It's all in self-improvement. People are paying money for how to ace interviews, how to ace their job interviews. It's part of self-improvement. People are paying money for how to start an online business, right? There's even in the software aspect of it. People need people that can help them run ads, right? People need people who can help them with marketing systems. It's so much, okay? But there's a starving crowd everywhere you turn when you're looking for people who are trying to improve themselves, either their sales, their business, or personal development.
Awesome. Yeah. Great. Thank you so much, John, for answering that. I think, and for some other questions that I have here, you've actually touched on some of them. And I see a question from someone who says, how do I remain consistent? I think the best way to remain consistent is to be consistent, really. Maybe get I don't know, John, maybe you want to speak to it, but this person is clearly asking how he or she has not really been consistent in terms of putting himself or herself out there. So he's asking, how do I? So are there strategies you think one can leverage to be more consistent? I think maybe if you think you're not able to be more committed, maybe you want to get an accountability partner. What do you think, John?
Well, I think you're right. That works. But one more thing is that I don't know where the person who asked that question, I don't know where you are based, but I know that the environment tends to play a role in these things. There are certain places where you might struggle to be consistent because maybe you are the only one who is doing those things in that area. But where you are in an environment where what you are trying to do or be is the minimum expectation, you will naturally up-level yourself. So environment is a very key factor.
Okay, thank you so much, John. All right, so I see someone asking here, I'm not able to access the FGN platform. Please, if you can't access it, feel free to send an email to us and we would find out what the challenge is, but you should be able to actually access it. Just go on your browser and type FGN/alert. It will pop up, follow the prompt and get registered so that you're part of the next cohort. Thank you. Thank you so much. So my very next question to you, John. I see NEPA has happened to you.
And hasn't happened
Okay,
back.
great. It's back. All right. Thank you so much, John. Thank you. So my next question for you is in the context of entrepreneurship and professional development, how important is networking?
Okay, your question was how important is networking?
Exactly.
Yes, yeah, it is very important. Aside the fact that everyone is trying to reach their customers online, you also need collaborators and relationships with stakeholders. There's this thing called the business model canvas. I think I first encountered it in 2011, but anyone can just Google the business model canvas. It just tells you what your business model should look like at a glance, without writing a whole business plan. It's just a simple graphic that gives you a graphical representation of what your entire business plan can look like on that business model canvas. So anyway, when I first discovered it and I read through it, there's a part there where you're supposed to write down who your what your key partnerships are. Because you realize that in business, your key partners or the people you relate with are not just your customers or your prospective customers. There are also other stakeholders you have to maintain relationships with if you are going to derive as much value from the marketplace. So is it relationships with your affiliates, that is people who are going to be affiliates or distributors for your products? You need to maintain those relationships. Or is it on the other side of things where you are finding distributorship arrangements for products that you can sell? All of these key business relationships require networking. All right. Some people get lazy with networking and just say, okay, all I have to focus on is sales. Well, you need other kinds of relationships that are not customer relationships. You need distribution relationships. You need partnership, affiliate relationships, and so on. So networking is essential. And as we say, it makes the whole sales process a balanced diet.
Okay, great. Thank you. Thank you, John. So for those
Yeah.
of us who are finding, yeah, thank you so much, John, for responding to that. And those of us finding it difficult to access the FGN Alert site, like I said, send an email. So you could send the email specifically to FGN fgnalert@wemabank.com. fgnalert@wemabank.com. I'm just going to paste it in the chat section so that you can, I hope you were able to access the chat section. I, I, I don't know if that is possible, but I think you may be able to. So fgnalert@wemabank.com. Send an email to this and you would get some help. Thank you once again, John. And I'm sure we're getting value from this session. We're clearly discussing how to create wealth in the Nigerian digital economy. And John is clearly taking us through delivering to us insights and strategies that would help us, strategies that he has actually deployed, and what has brought him to where he is today. And of course, he's still going way further than where he is. He's basically sharing insights and strategies that he has tested and confirmed work that will also help you to advance as a young entrepreneur. So my next question for you, John, would be how important is financial education for the young professionally take to enhance their financial literacy, especially amidst the current economic uncertainties in Nigeria?
Yeah, I think financial literacy is important because, again, it's not just about making money. One also needs to understand how to keep it and how to multiply it. Because, again, there's one thing that a lot of people did not grow up learning, and that is how to assess risk, right? So it is, in this time, there's going to be so much. There are so many of these new companies coming up that are offering quick loans, no collateral, and all of that. And they make it appear so enticing and so easy to access. Anyone who doesn't have financial literacy or who doesn't have as much knowledge on risk assessment will just jump at it because it looks like an opportunity. And because you've been hearing everybody has to learn how to take risk. That's not how you take risk. There's also how to analyze the risk and know whether you are getting a good deal out of it. All right. So that financial literacy is very important so that you don't live your life as a gambler. There's a difference between having a gambler's mindset and an investor's mindset. All right. A gambler wants to get rich quick. An investor wants to stay rich forever. They're two different mindsets. All right. With an investor's mindset, you know that slow and steady, you are like a farmer whereby you are building, you are pruning your garden, and in time you are going to have your harvest. The laws of nature will not break because of you. All right. But where you have a gambler's mindset, man, it's going to happen now, right? You will tend to fall into financial ruin. So that financial literacy is very important. Understand what the realistic expectations are, what your numbers are, and I think that everyone needs to get that as well.
Very, very crucial because I see a number of people become victims of all these platforms that disguise themselves to be business platforms, and they want to help you to make money and all that. And people keep becoming victims over and over. So like you rightly said, we should understand what the reality is. We should understand how money works, because if we have an understanding how money works, I'm sure we wouldn't fall into such schemes. Thank you so much, Joan. I have a number of questions here for you, but clearly from what you had said earlier, it's a smart trainer wouldn't tell the participants the best platform or the best niche, So I think you have clearly addressed that. I would go over to the questions from the attendees that we have here. So this person says, what could be the hindrance to effective online sales, especially on social media platforms? What are the hindrances to effective online sales?
A number of them. One of them is being ill-equipped to sell. I know nobody wants to admit that they might be ill-equipped, but you must assess yourself, know what the market needs, what the market expects of you, and try to meet that expectation, right? So right now you have to look around, like what is going on right now. Like if you are putting, for example, I see people today put up videos on Instagram and they're in horizontal YouTube formats. And they don't understand that, things are changing, things have moved. You have to have the Reels format, right? And that is different. It's just an example. But hindrance to effective online sales, when you show up online, people have a way of knowing whether you are serious or not. And it's these little things, right? If you're putting out videos on YouTube, on Instagram or on TikTok, and it's educational, they must have captions. This is not 2015 anymore. Right? So you're putting them out, they have to have captions because many people they're watching your videos on mute. You want to be able to just use the captions to know what exactly it is you're talking about without necessarily hearing you, and so on. So if I were to answer this question, hindrances to effective online sales, there are so many, but one of them is not showing up like you are a business of 2024 and you're still showing up like you're a business of 2015. That's one. Number two, a hindrance is lack of automation. Okay, we always say one shall chase 1,000, two shall chase 10,000. That's the power of automation, right? Everybody needs to learn, not collaboration this time, automation, all right? Learn how to use all these automation tools to your advantage such that there's very little friction in your sales process. When people are buying from you, are they getting instant fulfillment? Are they getting instantly and automatically being upsold to other products, cross-sold to other products? There's something we call AOV in online selling. AOV means average order value. And it means that how do you optimize or maximize the average order value of every customer, of every sales transaction? Because the person who comes to buy something from you of 20,000 naira, maybe 20,000 naira was not all that they had to spend at that time. Do you have what it takes to, in that moment when they just bought that 20,000 naira product, do you have what it takes to cross-sell them or upsell them to something that costs also 30,000 naira? And so instead of having an average order value of what you initially presented for 20K, you can maximize so that every sales transaction gives you more than your initial front-end product. This is just another example. I could go on and on and on, but I'm sure there are other questions.
Amazing. Amazing. Thank you so much. You've actually spoken a lot on those hindrances, and clearly those are the things I know people actually face today in terms of online sales. And I'm sure the person that sent this question, I'm sure you've got response to your question. So please feel free to drop your questions and your comments. I would quickly also want to speak about the FGN Alert Innovation Program that is ongoing. So we have several cohorts coming up for this program. If you have not registered and you think it is an intervention that you need, please feel free to go on your browser, type FGN Alert. You would see the site, register so that you are part of the next cohort. If you're having any challenge, send an email to fgnalert@wemabank.com and you'll receive assistance very quickly. Okay, so I have other questions here that I would like to take. Can you share names of some of the books you read that aids personal development, confidence, and eloquence?
Um, Personal development. Well, I think my first personal development book was As a Man Thinketh by James Allen. That was the first ever self-development book I ever read, and it was really helpful, helping you to understand the importance of improving the quality of your thoughts so that you can improve the quality of your life. That was the first one, amazing. And then I moved on to reading other books, especially on sales. So especially when it comes to sales, one of the books that everybody must read is one called Branding, The Battle for Your Mind. It's a book by Al Ries and Jack Trout. It's called Branding, The Battle for Your Mind, Al Ries and Jack Trout. There's another one, the one I mentioned earlier on, Blue Ocean Strategy. It will help you be better if you are in a business that seems too competitive. The Blue Ocean Strategy is one that's going to help you. It's called Blue Ocean Strategy: How to Find Uncontested Space in the Marketplace. Then there is I like Mark Cuban's book. Mark Cuban's book is titled How to Win at the Sport of Life and Business. Very good book as well. There's also another book called Influence by Robert Cialdini. If you're going to make a lot of sales on the internet, you know you have to learn how to be able to influence people. And in influencing people, it comes to how you're able to speak to them in a persuasive manner, in a comforting manner, where you're able to understand the right words to say that enable people feel like, okay, this is the person we want to do business with. Robert Cialdini is one of the best authorities when it comes to that topic, and Influence, that book is a great one to read as well. If you need more, I have if you go to my Instagram handle or my Instagram highlights, there's a section for good books where I've listed out all the amazing books that I've come across.
Awesome. Thank you so much, John, for all you do. Thank you for sharing all that. Thank you. And I'm sure we've got quite a lot of book recommendation that we can read to get better in these skills. Thank you, John. So I have a question here that says, how can I develop skills to attract the right partnership for my business? This question is from Abdul Kodril Arona.
Okay, how do you develop the right skills? First of all, what do they say are the three most important rules in real estate? Location, location, location. Those are the top three rules for real estate. And that's how you've got to treat your business. Some people are going to be asking me this question, right? Their key partners are in Lagos, but they're in Enugu. Location, location, location. So what do I mean? You have to get into the environment where your key partners or your prospective partners are likely to be. So what I used to do when I was trying this out was there's this website called Eventbrite. Eventbrite is a global website where events happening all over the world are being listed. So I'll go to eventbrite.com and I would select either Lagos or Abuja, depending on what city I was likely to be in. So I'll put maybe Lagos, for example, and it would show you all the events that are going to be happening in Lagos this month. And you can even search by industry. So you go there and you now put your industry, maybe agriculture. If your partners are likely governments, federal governments, people, or parastatals, the best place to do this thing I'm telling you now is maybe Abuja, because they hold a lot of events like that there. where you, if you want to meet people in the mining sector, just go and search where are events happening in the mining sector. They happen a lot in Lagos and Abuja. All right, you find it, you go there. All right. I am in digital marketing. And you would assume that somebody who's in digital marketing would go to events for digital marketers. That helps, but no. I go to events for agriculture because those are where my customers are. I go to events for the transportation business, aviation, because that is where my customers are. Those are where my partners are. Those people need what I have. The events for digital marketing, they are important, but most of my partners are people that are in other fields that are not digital marketing. All right. Go to an event for people that are in finance. They want to have a means to get the word out about their financial products, and you're the digital marketer. That is how you guys can have those partnerships. All right. So if you want to increase partnerships for your business, you need to go to where your prospective partners are likely to be. First of all, you have to identify who those partners are, because some people misidentify them. You think that because you're in agriculture, your partners are those that are in agriculture as well. No. If you're in agriculture, your partner could be a supermarket chain that can handle your distribution. Your partner could be the guy that does exportation. Your partner could be the guy that does food processing. Your partner could be the guy that does storage. Your partner could be the guy that does transportation of those your agri products to the warehouse or to wherever you need to take it to. Your partner could be accountants that help you to sanitize your business. So know who your partners are, and then you can now have strategies for maintaining those relationships. This thing you just asked me is actually inside the business model canvas. Just go and Google business model canvas. Guys, if you've never had any formal business training, it's going to change your life. And it's totally free. There are many templates online you can download, and you can fill it like a questionnaire. You'll fill it, and to help you keep these things top of mind.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you, John. Thank you, John. I think we're drawing closer to the time we say goodbye, but it's been a lot of value that you have been delivering here since we started. Thank you for the insight, for the strategies, the tips, and the responses to the questions that our participants have. So I have a question here from someone that says, what are the things I need to put in place before launching a food business online? What are the things that that's Annie Didi. What are the things that she needs to put in place?
Okay, so I don't have a food business. I think the best person to ask is somebody who has a food business. I can give you a more generic question, but I don't know. I don't have a food business, so I can't really answer that question.
Okay. Awesome. But yeah, thank you so much, John. So, Anne, please, it would be nice to also reach out to someone who is in a food business. Clearly, John doesn't do a food business, and the person who is already in this business would give you practical tips that he or she has tested, tried, and has confirmed that it works. Thank you so much, Anne, for your questions. So, from additional says, can SMEDAN certificate be used to organize training for emerging entrepreneurs? SMEDAN certificate, can it be used to organize training for emerging entrepreneurs?
I don't know what the SMEDAN certificate offers. Is it just a certificate of participation? Or yeah, so I don't know what that entails.
I think it's some sort of certification that you get as a trainer, right? So I think this person is basically asking for something that makes your training programs more credible.
Okay, I guess it probably does, but I've never seen one before. And that's the beauty of having a personal brand, right? Your certification, like everything I've presented today and the way I've delivered it is my certification. Yeah. Nobody who has ever patronized me or come to my trainings has ever asked my certificate. My certificate is my online presence and the value they get when they watch me on YouTube. So back to your question on personal branding, your real certificate is your personal brand.
Clearly, and I think that's clearly apt. You know, when I talk with career people and business people as well, especially those who are trying to start up and are struggling in terms of putting themselves out there, in terms of establishing their credibility. So, like you have rightly said, it is your skills. And there was something you said when you were answering one of my questions. You made mention of the value you bring and consistency. I picked those two words. offering value and being consistent in offering these value. And clearly, like John has said, nobody comes to ask him of his certificate. What certificate do you have, John? John, I'm not sure I asked you that question this morning, before you started
Exactly.
talking to me. So it's basically what value you bring. The value you're bringing, that's what people want to see, not your certificate. We've gone past the age of a certificate a long time. Today, we're looking at for skilled people who can actually get the job done. All right. Thank you so much, John. I'm looking out for more questions that are coming from up. I think there are quite a number of them here. I'm trying to pick up one to ask. Okay, my question goes like this. In a situation where people are not exposed to online business due to lack of trust or fraud, which make people to not agree to invest or promote online businesses, what kind of method can you use to influence and draw the attention of such people? So I don't know if you this is my first time reading this. I should have read before now, but I couldn't meet up. So the question goes like this: in a situation where people are not exposed to online business due to lack of trust or fraud, which make people not to agree to invest or promote online businesses, what kind of method can you use to influence and draw the attention of these people? So it seems like this person is doing an online business. John, do you understand the question?
Yes, I think I understand where they're coming from. So yeah, the person is talking about people who are skeptical of online business. And yes, I won't say a lot, but there's a sizable number of people who may be skeptical about online business and may not want to just pay money to a stranger.
Exactly.
And that is why, like I said, selling is not just exchanging money for your product. Selling is what you do every day to convince the marketplace of your value. Okay, so when you are selling, one thing that people want to see is that, okay, who is this person and how many people actually look up to this person, or how many people can verify that they know this person, so that if anything goes wrong in this transaction, who can we turn to? So that is why an Instagram account that is trying to sell something and they have 100 followers will not have the same impact as an Instagram account that has maybe 100,000 followers. Because when you come there is social proof. You think if this person has 100,000 followers, maybe it's like these people have already pre-qualified this person. They are likely to be more trustworthy. Next thing they start going through your posts, and it's not about your post, but your comment section. You want to see who do they know that has left comments that could possibly know you. What ties do they have to you? And they look at your comments, and they're positive. People are giving testimonials. They're like, okay, the person gets more comfortable, and then maybe you are someone who is comfortable with coming online and making videos. And that's why I love doing videos or live presentations, because there's a way you are able to influence a person on video that is very hard to do when you're just typing or putting a picture on social media. They're hearing your voice. There's so much about your presentation that is giving them information on what you are and what the experience with you is likely to be like. And then they're sold. So all these things. I've had people that have come to my physical events and paid money without ever knowing who the hell John Obidi is. And that's because I know that I need to get these people to buy my product. So what do? On my sales page, I put up a sales video so that anybody who has never seen me before can just see me present right there. And I'm, this guy is making sense actually. Oh, all right. And then I'm talking about it. And on that sales video, I'm putting up social proof. I have been featured in this, and this. They're saying, okay, he's been on TV. Okay, he's been on radio. Okay, he has gotten this award, that award, this endorsement. Okay, it's not impossible for this man to scam me, but it is highly unlikely that he would scam me. Yeah, it's highly unlikely. Testimonials, there are video testimonials of everybody who is speaking so well of me. How come I've never heard of this guy before? Then they'll go and Google me. You'll see amazing stuff on Google. Check my Instagram, verified. See all kinds of things there. Check my Facebook. Oh, wow. How come this is my first time just knowing this guy? And then they are sold. Once you're able to get a skeptical Nigerian to be a happy customer of your product, of your brand, that person, if they get a good experience, would likely be a lifetime customer. Not just a lifetime customer, but a lifetime advocate of your brand as well.
Yeah, clearly. I think it's even Even the person that sent this question, clearly, even for you, there are some persons that you would never buy from because you don't think they're credible. You've not seen anyone buy from them. So that bit of putting yourself out there, to at least allay their fears, it's very important because trust these days, it's hard to get, right? And once you get it, it's important we keep it because once it is lost, it's hard to also get it back. And there are quite a number of things that can help us to earn the trust of people as entrepreneurs. So nature. Sorry, this name I'm finding it difficult to pronounce. It. There's a question here, so I think this person has been drawing my attention to um answer this question. So she said, or he, I don't know. I have this IT tech skills training acquisition skill idea, right? I'm currently starting that next January, that's next year. How do I overcome the issues of people advanced trying to get back into tech? So I feel this person is talking about people who are likely to compete with her in this space. He or she is trying to start up an IT tech skills training acquisition, and it's going to start up next year. How do I overcome the issues of people who are advanced getting back into tech?
Yeah, you can't overcome it. That's the nature of business. It's competitive. You can't overcome. Do you want to get them out of business? Wherever there's market share, people are going to come and try to take it. That's just the nature of business. All you have to do is like, look, there's no business that is 100% competition proof. So you have to look for where your own competitive edge is and you protect it. There are some businesses that their competitive edge is that they are amazing at marketing. Some of them, their competitive edge is that they have amazing partners. All right. Their competitive edge is that they have a large database of existing customers that they can upsell and cross-sell to. Whatever your competitive edge is, make sure you protect it, make sure you hone it as you keep on adding to your competitive edge. Everybody needs that, but you can't stop anybody from coming to your industry. What you can do is to fortify your position and be very creative. And besides, don't think about that too much. If you were in some small country, I would understand. Nigeria, 200 million people. You guys don't understand what it means to be a business person in Nigeria. I don't think you get it. I wake up every day happy that I was born into this market. Do you understand that this is the market that people outside Nigeria are doing market research and finding ways to come in here? This economy, there is so much money moving in, and I can talk about that separately. There's so much money moving around in this economy that people in smaller countries wish their countries had the kind of economy. Now, a lot of Nigerians misconstrue the meaning of having a strong economy and the quality of life. All right. People say, oh, what do you mean? What do you mean Nigeria has a strong economy when there are many poor people? They are not the same thing. Having a strong economy has a very different definition from the quality of life of people in that country. When we say you have a strong economy, it talks about how frequently money moves in that economy and in what volumes. So when they say Nigeria has a strong economy or one of the strongest economies in Africa, if not the strongest, it means that per day, the money that people spend and move and circulate in the economy is higher here than in any other country in Africa. And that is why they are always trying to come here, not because the quality of life in Nigeria is amazing. No, we can debate that separately. But they are coming here because the amount of it defies understanding. Where is all this money coming from? People are circulating. That's why they are coming here to figure out how they can capture it. So if you were born into this market, you have home advantage. You don't have to bother that, oh, I'm going to this business, I'm going to have competitors. There are so many unreached people, even within your space, banking, Ogechi. There's always this thing people talk about banking the unbanked. And you have all these figures about people that are still unbanked, right? So there's so much market space if you are based in Nigeria. If I'm talking to people in smaller countries, okay, we can now start getting more strategic because they don't have much numbers in that country. But in Nigeria, come on, even if you are just 10% as good, you will still make money.
Awesome. Thank you, John. Thank you. Thank you. So there's a question here from an anonymous attendee. It says, with the constant decrease in the purchasing power of an average Nigerian and the skyrocketing exchange rate, what advice will you give a young digital marketer who wants to build a global multi-million-dollar brand long term?
Ross, yeah.
Is it
Okay.
wise? Is it wise to do something for the Nigerian market or the Nigerian audience, or is it better to go global?
Yeah, you see, we need to be very specific to what the numbers are when you say that purchasing power is reducing. Yes, it is reducing, but is not reducing in such numbers that you will not have customers if you are ready to do business. All right. So yes, purchasing power is reducing generally, but people are still spending money. People are still spending a ton of money in this economy. So where is the money coming from? What I would just say is that everybody just needs to become a better marketer and a better salesperson. And I'm saying this, that it is so easy to become that because most people are not thinking in this way. If you can just become 10% better at sales and marketing, especially online, you will make more money than you have ever imagined. Even in this economy that people are saying that that the purchasing power is reducing, right? So there's still a lot of money to be made. There's still money in circulation. You just have to get into that stream where money is being circulated and position yourself as the person people can trust to deliver that. Also, there's also another thing that people don't understand, and that is that as a digital marketer, because that's the person that asked the question, as a digital marketer in Nigeria, your customers are not just Nigerians in Nigeria. Your customers are Nigerians in the diaspora. So when I first started my online business, my purchases from outside Nigeria versus within Nigeria were like 3% of my entire purchases were coming from outside Nigeria. This was like 2014, 2015, when somebody in America, I mean, in Nigerian abroad, not an American, when somebody in America who wanted to buy your product, they would have to jump through hoops because we couldn't open PayPal, we couldn't open Stripe. So imagine somebody sending you money with all these old platforms like World Remit, or they'll send money through Western Union just to buy a simple product. Okay, so people wanted it that bad at that time, so it was still 3%. But over time, things have gotten better. My purchases from outside Nigeria are now around 35%. 35%. And why is that? Because now payment processing has improved. You can now be in Nigeria and accept somebody's card who can pay you in dollars. So I'm saying because the guy was talking about multi-million dollar, I don't know about multi-million dollar shop, but I shall pick out dollar from there. Yeah, so you have to set up your business to be able to collect money from people outside Nigeria that want to pay you. Trust me, they exist. In my business today, 35% of the purchases in my business come from outside Nigeria, and they are facilitated because I can take anybody's card. They can pay me in dollars or in their local currency with our current payment processors. So things have gotten a lot easier. So you need to start having that front-facing look right now that my customers are not just Nigerians, but those outside Nigeria. That will help you also hedge against the exchange rates issues.
Awesome. Thank you so much, John. Thank you. You've clearly answered that question. I think John is also available if you can also chat him up on Instagram. Where's the best place to reach out to you, John? Instagram, it's okay, right?
Instagram is fine,
so,
at
feel
John
free
Obidi.
Awesome. So feel free to reach out to John on Instagram, and he will be glad to respond to any question that you have after now, because we are actually wrapping up. So this is probably the last question I'm going to ask you, John. What are the critical mindset shifts? And why I'm asking this question is because I understand the place of the mind when it comes to business growth, the place of the mind when it comes to life success. What are the critical mindset shifts that young entrepreneurs and professionals need to make to succeed in wealth building endeavors?
That there's money in Nigeria. That's stop spending your time. I'm talking to the audience now. Don't be spending your time on all these Twitter and all these places where people are always talking about how there's so much suffering. And listen, the number one mindset shift you have to have in your head right now, and be baptizing yourself with this every day. It's not positive thinking, it's reality, just not your reality, maybe, because you've not seen it. That there's money in Nigeria. Stop saying there's no money. What do you mean there's no money in Nigeria? People are still buying cars and houses. Where are they getting the money from? Is there a calabash in their wardrobe? No, there is money in Nigeria. So that is the number one mindset shift. I'll say it again. There is money in this country. And every day, I am delighted that I was born a Nigerian citizen. Because if I were not, I was starting to have to get a Nigerian visa now and start penetrating this market with my funny accent, right? How do I enter this market? How do I convince them that I was born inside this market where there's so much money? What are you telling me? All right. There's a way I can communicate to a Nigerian that a foreigner will find very difficult to. I have the home advantage. I know all the slangs. I know all the colloquialisms. I know what to say. I know how to present myself. I can make jokes that will make you laugh because we grew up under the same social context, right? So please, that mindset shift is that there is money in Nigeria. It's not positive thinking. It is true, but it's not the truth you are focused on. There's every other thing or all the other issues are happening. I'm not oblivious of those things, but there is money in Nigeria. And when you keep on reminding yourself of that, keep on asking yourself, okay, so how do I become the type of person that can collect this money? That person is not lazy. That person is not lazy. That person is diligent. That person is excellent in everything that they do. That person is always dotting their I's and crossing their T's. That person is hopeful, but not just hopeful, they are excellent. They are always researching on better ways to do business. They do not aim for simply customer service. They aim for customer delight. So your delivery, I always say that the best advertisement for your next product is the delivery of your current product. So when you understand that you are aiming for customer delight, you will turn your customers into advocates. You will make more money than you've ever dreamed of. But you have to understand there is money in Nigeria. Then ask yourself, how can I become the kind? It's not for everybody. The money, there's money. It's not for everybody. It's for a specific kind of business person. And when you can grow into becoming that specific kind of business person that money is left for, you will make that money. But there's money in Nigeria. That's the mindset shift.
Awesome. Thank you. That was apt, John. That was apt because I believe that for every training program should actually start from training the mind. Because if the mind is not in the right place, it becomes a problem. If the mind is not in the right place, the person may not necessarily acquire the right technical skills to progress. Thank you, John, for it's been a great time with you this day again. And I'm truly looking forward to having this session with you again, right? I'm sure
Always a
our
pleasure.
audience our audience are also looking forward to have you join us again. So please reach out to John Obidi on Instagram. He will be glad to speak with you. Also, if you're looking to register for the FGN Skin Innovation Program, feel free to check on your browser, FGN Alerts. You will see the prompt, follow the prompt, get registered so that you're part of the next cohort. If you're having any challenges, send an email to fgnalerts@wemabank.com. Thank you for joining. We really do appreciate you. So, John, do you have a last word, a farewell statement for our audience today?
Yeah, I would say keep on coming to these programs. I know that Wema Bank does a ton of these trainings and skill development, capacity development trainings. And I would say that you need to avail yourself of every opportunity to get upskilled. This came to you at zero cost. And that's a part of the amazing job that Wema Bank is doing. I would say show up. I think since you registered here, you're on Wema Bank's mailing list. When Wema Bank mails you again for the next training, always try to be there because they have an amazing set of speakers and trainers. And keep on training yourself and becoming that phenomenal business person because there's money in Nigeria.
Beautiful. Please go with that word. There is money in Nigeria.
Yes, sir.
Thanks a lot, John. Thank
Thank
you.
you for
Thank you.
having
Thank
me.
you, everyone. Yeah, thank you. Thanks everyone for joining. And do have a wonderful day ahead.
Bye.
All right. Bye.